Hey, I'm Randy, and you're watching The Cheap Audio Man. Here at The Cheap Audio Man, we talk about high-value hi-fi, home theater, and headphone equipment. And today, we're talking about subwoofers, specifically the SVS 3000 Micro. It's a little tiny subwoofer. So, sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about the SVS 3000 Micro. Today's sponsor is Sith Audio, audiophile microfiber cloths. Listen, if you have glossy speakers, you know what your life is like, how horrible it is when you have to wipe off fingerprints off of your expensive, glossy speakers. That's why Sith Audio has solved the problem once and for all. 10-pack for $139, $199. On sale for $139. Takes all those pesky fingerprints away in an audiophile way. First time, every time. Sith Audio, audiophile microfiber cloths. SVS, a 3000 Micro, comes in at $899. That's kind of expensive for me. When I hear $899 in a subwoofer, I kind of tune out a little bit. But this one has something a little bit different because it's tiny, has two 8-inch woofers firing away from each other. Seal design. I have some other subwoofers here for size comparison. This is a 10-inch Sonance. I found this at a Best Buy years ago, and it was on sale. One of those typical things, regular price $600, and it was on sale for $350. It's actually a very good subwoofer. It's a 10-inch sealed subwoofer. I don't even think they make passive speakers, but it's quite heavy. I think it's 350 watts. It's gonna be fun holding these up today. It's the Sonance MS-10 sub. All right, let's do some size comparisons. This could go wrong really quickly. Me lifting stuff up and placing it on top of each other. I'm trying to be real careful, SVS. I know you can't see that. Let's see if I can back up. SVS, narrower, less tall. Okay, on the front, it's got a nice SVS logo here. On the sides, it has a metal mesh that covers up both the drivers. And then on the back, you got all the controls and everything else like that. I should have just told you it's smaller. I wanted to show it to you, but trust me, it's smaller than a 10-inch sealed sub, which is already small to begin with. This is the SVS SB1000 Pro. Kind of my de facto subwoofer recommendation. SB1000 Pro is about 2 inches wider, about an inch on each side. And then it is 3 inches deeper and 2.5 inches taller. And the SB1000 Pro is already a very small subwoofer to begin with that uses a 12-inch driver. You can see this driver takes up almost the entirety of the enclosure. Once again, a very complicated way of saying the 3000 Micro is small. Smaller than other subwoofers. Who's this subwoofer for? Well, it's someone that wants a small subwoofer, but still wants a lot of bass. Doesn't want to compromise on how much bass is coming out of this very small package. Apartment people. Actually, though, I had this in my largest room to kind of push it. I was watching Rise of Skywalker. Love that movie because the first 5 minutes can tell me a lot about a home theater system and a subwoofer. A lot of space chases, lightsabers, indigenous population murders to find Sith wayfinders. Stuff like that. Dual opposing 8-inch drivers, one on each side. 800 watt RMS. Listen to the name of this amplifier. Sledge STA 800 D2 discrete MOSFET outputs. Huh? You want those MOSFETs discrete? Let me tell you. I love whoever wrote this for SVS. Listen to this. Many micro subwoofers have tried. All have failed. Okay, I like that part. And then I like the 3000 Micro delivers performance that obliterates every micro subwoofer that has come before. Does it? Well, I don't know, because I don't have any other micro subwoofers. I think KEF makes one that is similar to this, somewhat similar technology. That one's a lot more expensive. I think that one is $1,600. Pretty much is meant to go with the KEF LS50 Metas because they don't have any bass. So you have to get a subwoofer. Kidding. I haven't heard the LS50 Metas. I have heard the LS50s and they didn't have any bass. So they probably do need a subwoofer. So now your $1,500 speakers, you need to add a $1,600 subwoofer. We've established, got some cool technology going on. 2 8-inch woofers. Has a real big, fancy, awesome amplifier in it. Tiny, little, $900. It's also got some, it's got a secret up its sleeve. Something special about it. The application. One thing that I love, it's not just one thing because it's probably about 10 things that are in the app. One thing that I really love about SVS subwoofers is the app. Because if you've been doing this for a while, you know how fun it is to set up a new subwoofer in a new position in your room and have to crawl back there, set crossover settings, set phase levels. It's a lot of fun when you have to crawl back there, especially if you have anything around it. I'm being sarcastic because it's not a lot of fun. It's horrible. Not anymore. Not with your trusty phone, because you can set crossovers, you can set level, you can set phase, you can set polarity. It has room gain settings. So if you measure your room and you have some type of issue at 25 hertz or whatever it is, you can just flip a switch and then fix it. And it's just not the 3000 micro, it's the SVS 1000 Pro. I think it's pretty much all their subwoofers. And I've said it before on some of my live streams and patron only Zooms that even, and I'm not saying this, okay? So bear with me, I'm not saying what you think I'm gonna say. Even if the SVS subwoofer sounds 75% as good as another subwoofer, I'm still buying the SVS simply because of the application. And I would argue that the SVS is going to sound just about as good, if not better, than other subwoofers out there, like Rel. People are always saying, oh, Rel, Speedwoofer 10, Rel, 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 Rel. So try to say that 7 times really fast. I'll wait. Rel, Rel, Rel. It's the greatest subwoofer ever. It could be. It could be. But unless it sounds twice as good as an SVS, I'm buying the SVS simply because of the application, because it makes my life easier. Why small subwoofers? Well, personally for me, I like tower speakers, okay? I don't love tower speakers. I love bookshelf speakers. And I really, really love bookshelf speakers with a small subwoofer, okay? Why? It's less intrusive, gives you more freedom, and oftentimes gives you a more complete frequency response than a bunch of towers. Not only that, if you have any bass issues in your room with those towers, you're stuck. But if you have a subwoofer, you can dial things in. Lower the gain. Change positions. Try to change positions with your tower speakers if you're having some type of room nulls things. You can't. So for me, I'll take a nice pair of bookshelf speakers that I like and a nice subwoofer every day of the week over a pair of towers. I'm not saying you're wrong if you like towers. That's fine. I like bookshelves and a sub. I like to switch stuff out oftentimes. A lot of times I don't even think I need a subwoofer. And for all you dyed in the wool, I only need 2 speakers, don't sleep on a subwoofer. It can change your life. This lives in any room if you're just listening to music, unless it's something like Hans Zimmer, crazy music soundtracks that have ultra deep low passages and need a ton of excursion. This will work perfectly in any room for 2.1. Music. For dual duty movies and music, probably going to want to be in a medium to smaller room if you're going to be watching a whole bunch of stuff like I do. Terminator, Star Wars, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Pretty in Pink. Movies like that have a ton of bass. Breakfast Club. This is not going to cut it in a large room by itself. You may be able to get 2 of those, but at that point you're in it at $1,800, and if you're in a large room anyway, you're probably going to have room for a larger subwoofer. And while it is amazing how much bass you can get out of such a small package, was still reaching its limits today when I was watching Rise of Skywalker. I also watched a bunch of Daredevil. Just finished Daredevil. I heard that Disney is bringing it back. I hope so. Because I loved Daredevil. Hadn't watched it. Watched The Punisher, but never watched Daredevil. Anyway, it was wonderful. 3rd season was absolutely wonderful. Good life lessons in the Daredevil. Probably don't want to hear about Daredevil, but if you do watch it, make sure you get yourself an SVS 3000 Micro or an SVS 1000 Pro or one of those Sonance things. Probably going to want another one if you're watching movies in a big room and you want that shaking the pictures off the wall experience. But I don't really think it's meant for that purpose anyway. Because at that point, you could get 3 SB1000 Pros back there for the same price as 2 of these. But for music, it's incredible. Opens up the soundstage, makes the speakers just seem so huge. I was listening to the Golden Ear BRX bookshelf speakers. Didn't put any crossover on them, so I just let them play full range. I crossed this over about 60 hertz, brought down the gain, and it just, it really just opened things up. Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys. Personally, I would have taken the Golden Ear and this over any tower speakers that I've had here in the house. Any of them. And that's staggering to think about, because it's just such a small package. It's not sticking out in the living room everywhere. Subs and bookshelves are just a remarkable pairing in my experience. Everybody can live with that. Everybody can live with that. No one's going to complain about a couple of bookshelves and something like this. It's great. Bass tone and texture, I think it's awesome. I haven't had a rel in here, so I can't comment on whether or not rel is better than SVS or sounds better. It better sound way better for me to choose it over SVS because, again, of the app. But rel, if you're watching, send something over to me. Send me over a Subwoofer. Let me check it out. There are a lot of other channels out there that have more experience, know more about subwoofers, and probably can make a better judgment. But from my perspective, if it goes boom, it's not sloppy, makes me enjoy the music more, increases the soundstage, and I can hear things, the bottom octave that I couldn't hear from a bookshelf speaker before, and it's a fair price. That's all I ask for. And I have had nothing but great experiences with SVS. They stand behind their product. They have an excellent customer service team, and they have a pretty fair return policy. More than fair. I think it's 45 days. Don't quote me on that, though. I could be making things up. The price may be a little high. For me personally, I'm not saying it doesn't justify the $900 price tag, especially when you're comparing it to the somewhat similar KEF subwoofer. This is cheaper than the KEF and probably outperforms it. I'd love to have the KEF in. I don't think KEF's sending me anything though. Come on, KEF, send me something. Send me the LS50 Metas and your matchy subwoofer. It's really beautiful. It's nice. At $900 though, you're starting to push, well, you could get 2 SB1000 Pros. I think when we're talking about price here, I think this has a specialized purpose. This could go under desk for a desktop situation if you want like the best subwoofer that you can get. Bedroom, perfect for a bedroom system. I have a pretty much a full home theater in my bedroom. This would be great in there. Music, I think it's going to work with music anywhere unless it's just crazy demanding. But the SB1000 Pro is not that much bigger. I think it's really remarkable what they were able to do in such a small package. I think it's really remarkable what they were able to do in this package too. 12-inch. I have no problem recommending this if you have the budget for it and if you have the application for it. I think this is a very application-specific product. Unless you love the looks and you have the budget. You could stick 2 of these, well, wherever you wanted to in a larger room, and then I think you're going to be just fine with movies and music. So once again, another winner from SVS. Whether or not it fits into your budget and your application depends on you. So if you want to support the channel, you can sign up for Patreon. Patreon.com/CheapAudioMan. Every Sunday night with Patreon-only Zooms. We have Patreon-only Facebook group, Patreon-only Discord group, and we do Patreon-only giveaways, specific tiers. You can also use the affiliate links. If you buy the 3000 micro, that will be an affiliate link. I will get a commission if you choose to purchase it through those links. You can also sign up for Amazon Music or Tidal Music. Links in the description. Click on the links, sign up. Even if it's for a trial, I still get a commission. You can also use the thanks button right below this video next to the share button. There's a little thanks. If you got any value out of this, you can give me $1 or $2. Whatever you want. You don't feel compelled to give me anything though. So, don't binge watch anything on Netflix or Hulu. Binge listen, maybe through your new SVS 3000 micro subwoofer, and fill your soul with happiness. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.